Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to look into ways to create arrays in NumPy. In our earlier session, we have already revisited the array concept where we have discussed about 1D array, 2D array and 3D array. We have also looked into what actually the indexing and slicings are, as well as we have discussed about the transpose operation. We have also seen aggregation on arrays, and we have also discussed about how to reshape the arrays. So these are the concepts which we have discussed on arrays. So now in this session we will look into what are the methods available within NumPy. With the help of that you can create arrays. So let's jump into the Jupyter notebook and look into what are the ways we are having to create arrays within NumPy. So we are into the Jupyter notebook and here we will start our coding. So first step, to use the NumPy, we have to import the package. So you need to write import NumPy as np. So this is the standard line you will find in many places whenever if you are learning Python, or whenever you see that any project is there and if NumPy is being used. So you have to specify like this industry standard say, or say this pattern you have to follow, where you can import the package, name of the package, and you can create an alias. If you are providing as, that means you are creating an alias for this package. You can press shift enter. So now that means the package is gets imported over here. It is still running. That's the reason you are seeing a streak over here earlier. Now it become 1. That means it is being loaded. So now the first step we are going to learn about. Here we need to first look into create from Python list. Suppose that if we are having the Python list like list1, and this I want to use to create the NumPy array, for example 1 2 3 4. Now to create the NumPy array we need to specify np.array, and here tab I will press np.tab, and here you will get that we are having a method called array, and we need to specify the list name list1, and we need to specify how much bit you want to allocate for this array. For example, if you want to allocate 16-bit integer, so you need to specify d type equal to np.int16. So this way you are creating the array with the help of Python list. So if we will run it and let's assign into a variable, tell that numpy array equal to this statement. Shift enter, and now if we will print numpy array, then you will find that it will print. Now we will check the type. So how we will check the type? We will type, and within that we will pass numpy array, and we should print, and over here shift enter. Then you will find that it is a type of numpy.nd array, and it is one dimensional array. We will look into in next session how to identify the shape and the dimension of a given array. So that we will look into in the next session. So now let's proceed further. Now we will look into how to create multi-dimensional array with the given list, or say how to create two-dimensional array with the given list. Suppose that if we are already having over here list1 and there is another list, I am going to create list2, and this list contain another element like 5 6 7 8. So we are having this list, and now I want to create two-dimensional array by combining these things. So how we can create it is pretty much very straightforward. So again you can use it, this statement, and this time you should specify list2 over here, list2, and here you can specify 2D. Shift enter. We got an error over here. So make sure that you should be specifying within a square bracket, else you will get the same error which I am getting over here. Shift enter. Now you will check that if we will print this one, let's print it and specify print, and the name of the array shift enter, then you will find that you are having a two-dimensional array where we are having rows as well as the column. So now let's proceed further. Again, if you want to check the type, then you will copy this line, copy it, paste it over here, specify the name 2D, shift enter, then you will find that it is a type of numpy and array. That means n-dimensional array. So now let's proceed further. Now we will look into various method which is being used within NumPy to generate some arrays. So what are those methods? So we will look one by one. So the first method we are going to look into arrange, that is called arrange method. So let's write it, arrange method to generate numpy array, shift enter. So now here we will generate the numpy array with the help of np.arrange. So let's write it. We will have a variable over here, arrange array equal to, we will generate with the help of arrange. So if you will provide over here arrange, then you need to specify some value, or say better to specify the longer range. I am going to specify 50. So what it will do, it will generate a one-dimensional array from 3 to 50 numbers. So let's look into the output. Let me increase the size of this so that it would be easy for you. So now over here you can shift enter and then we will print it. So let's print it, arrange array, now shift enter. Then you will find that it has created a one-dimensional array and it is starting from the range 3 to 49. So you should remember that whenever you want to generate an array for a sequence of number, then you can use this method. Now proceeding further and looking into another method of numpy array that comes very handy. Suppose if you want to generate array of zeros, so how we can generate arrays of zeros? So let's look into that. So numpy offers us, there is a method called zeros. So let's look into that. We will tell that zero array equal to np.zeros. We need to specify over here zeros, and within that you need to specify what is the dimension you are looking for to generate the array. So here you need to specify the dimension you want, 3 comma 3, that is you want 3 rows and 3 columns for this array. Shift enter, specify print, and here you should specify 0 array, shift enter. Then you will find that it has generated two-dimensional array and each element is the 0 element. So this is the another way you can create the array with 0 element. Now proceeding further, same way, however, we are having zeros method, we are having the method called ones. So ones is used for to generate the array with value 1. So let's look into that. Copy paste it and you can say it over here, one array, and over here you need to specify ones, and this time I am going to generate 2 comma 3 and shift enter, specify the print one array, and over here shift enter again. Then you will find that it has generated a two-dimensional array where we are having 2 rows and 3 columns. So let's proceed further now. So now let's proceed further and we will discuss about another method of numpy which is also being used for array creation, but this time it is used for very special array that is called identity matrix. The attribute of identity matrix is that every diagonal element is having the value 1. So let's look into that. So we will tell that iArray equal to, and this time I am going to use a very special method that is called np.I, and I want over here 3. So let's look into that, how it is coming. Shift enter and you should specify the print, and here I am going to print iArray, shift enter. Then you will find that each diagonal element in this array is 1. So this is the method which we use to generate the identity matrix. If you are not aware about the identity matrix concept, I will suggest that you should go to Google and search for identity matrix concept, which is part of matrix algebra, and revisit the concept. As matrix algebra we are going to use very rigorously in data analysis as well as data science as well as machine learning topics. So it is going to come in the upcoming session as well as the upcoming course. Anyway, let's proceed further. So now let's proceed further, and next thing which we are going to discuss about generating a equally spaced array within the numpy. So what it means? So let's understand with an example. Suppose that if you want to generate an array within range of 1 to 5, that is going to be a decimal values, and you want to generate 20 elements, and these 20 elements is equally spaced. So how we will generate it? So there is a special method also given in numpy that is called line space, that is called spell like this. So let's look into that. First we will write the variable equally space array, and this is going to be np.lin. Here e is not there, and you should specify lin space, and within that you have to specify the values. So first value is the starting range, the second value you have to specify from where to where, and how many elements you want to generate. So I am going to generate almost 20 elements, and this time I'm going to press shift enter, and now let's print it. So let's print it e space array, shift enter, then you will find that it has generated this number. So how we can verify that these numbers are equally spaced? So I'm going to use the matplotlib that is used for visualization of the data within Python. So this is the library which we are going to learn as well in our upcoming part of this course. For a time being, I'm just going to use one of the thing to demonstrate that it is equally spaced. So first we will specify import, and this time I'm going to tell that matplotlib dot, there is a special module available within this package. So you can tell that pyplot, and again you need to create an alias. I'm going to use it as pp, shift enter, and here we need to specify pp.plot, and within that we will specify the name of this array, e space array. Now shift enter, then you will find that it will draw a graph over here. So how you can verify that it is equally spaced? Then you will find that the range is going into the straight line. So that means the range which we have generated over here, that is equally spaced. So that means each point is equally spaced with each other. So this way you can also verify your generated array within numpy. So now let's proceed further. What we will do, we will use another method within numpy that is called random. So we are going to learn about the random method which will be used to generate the array. So let's look into that. So this is going to be numpy random method. So it offers various methods to generate the array. So first random method which we are going to use to generate the normally distributed random numbers with a mean of 0, and a standard deviation is the 1. So let's look into that how we will do this. So let's look into that. So first what we will do, we will tell that normally distributed array, and this time I am going to use np.random.rand, that is rand, and over here you need to specify the length. So the length means you need to specify the specification for the matrices or say array which you want to generate. So 3 comma 2. So let's run it and over here print it. So and this array shift enter. So you will see that it has generated 3 by 2 dimensional array where it has generated 3 rows and 2 columns 2D arrays. Now let's plot it and let's look into the shape, what kind of shape it is giving us. So you remember that how to plot it. As you know that we have already plotted over here. We have created a alias over here called pp for py plot, and this time we are going to use pp dot plot and we will specify over here and this array shift enter. So let's look into that. So this way you can also plot this. So now let's proceed further. Within the random method we are going to, so now let's proceed further. We will look into another method within random module np.random module where we can generate the array within the range. So let's look into that. For example, if you want to create a random integer array, so how we will create it? So int array, and I'm going to use np.random.randint, and over here we need to specify the range. I want 6 to 11 and the size. The value is going to be in between 6 to 11 and the size I want 2 by 2 array. So here I need to specify row I want 2 and the column I want 2. Shift enter. Now let's print it how it is coming. So int array, shift enter, then you will find that it has generated a 2 by 2 array and the value for this array is fall in between 6 to 11. If you will change it, for example, if it is going to change between 30 to 50, so that it will give us the range between 30 to 50. So let's look into that. Shift enter again, then you will find that it has given the value with between 30 to 50. So now let's proceed further. So guys, we have seen that various methods to create arrays. So I am stopping over here. In the next session, we will look into how to identify the dimension, shape and strides. So what actually the strides is, we will look into. We will also understand that how we will get the dimension of an array whenever we are creating any array. So how we will identify the dimension. We will also discuss about the shape of an array along with the strides concept. So on this note, I am stopping over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care. So on this note, I am stopping over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.